Well, those are your latest headlines. Hello and welcome to France 24. I'm Louise Hannah. It's a decision that's been 4 years in the making. But today, the Special Court for Sierra Leone in The Hague will deliver its verdict on whether Charles Taylor, former president of Liberia, committed war crimes and crimes against humanity in Sierra Leone. Well, the court's now gathering. I believe we can cross live to take a look at the very latest pictures for you. OK, bear with us while we try and get that sorted. Here we go.
Also known as Jungle.
Well, if you're just joining us, we're watching live there the verdict that's about to be given on Charles Taylor, former president of Liberia, on 11 charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity. They include mass killings, crimes against humanity, sexual violence, abductions and the use of child soldiers. Now, the charges aren't that he himself carried out those acts, rather that he funded the RUF, the Revolutionary United Front rebels, so that they could carry out these acts of violence. So what we just heard there was the court setting out those charges and running through their findings so far. I'm now joined on set by Cyril Vanier, our international editor. Cyril, an incredibly complex case and a very important one. The head of the prosecution has said that this is incredibly important, in fact, an enormous test of international justice, he says. It certainly is a very big day. Cyril, let's cross live now to Catherine Norris-Trent, our reporter, who is based just outside the courthouse at The Hague. Catherine, we just heard there the charges against Charles Taylor. How have his defence tried to paint him? Thank you very much, Catherine Norris-Trent there. She's, of course, going to be updating us throughout the day. Let's now talk to Damon van den Linde, our RFI correspondent, who's in Sierra Leone's capital, Freetown. How do the people of Sierra Leone view this trial?
Well, people are paying attention to this trial.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because, in fact, the government came to power after winning an election, removing the incumbent government. So 10 years on from civil war, democratically, Sierra Leone's doing very well. OK, well, thank you very much for that. Damon van den Linde, our correspondent, he's based in Freetown in Sierra Leone. Let's take a closer look now at the man in the dock, Charles Taylor. Well, let's just talk a little bit more about those charges with our international editor, Cyril Vanier. It's important that we make it clear he's not charged of having carried out these crimes himself, but he was very much a force behind the RUF rebels, and he was the one providing the funding and providing the weapons. That's what he stands accused of. OK, thank you, Cyril. Let's go back to the courthouse now and take another live look at those pictures coming in to us. Charles Taylor, again, about to receive the verdict of whether he did fund the RUF rebels during the civil war in the 90s. Well, let's bring you up to date with some other world news. The African Union has issued a 7-point roadmap designed to guide Sudan and South Sudan out of the latest spate of violence. It's called for an end to the fighting which erupted over the oil-rich border town of Hedgelik, and for the two to restart negotiations. Gunmen killed at least 5 people in an overnight attack on a border town in southwest Ivory Coast. Let's take you right back to the courthouse in The Hague now. We're going to take another listen in to the trial of Charles Taylor on 11 charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity. Here we go.